from a young age, my dad had some different opportunities that probably most teenage kids wouldn't have for different family reasons. He ended up basically running his father's, he had a couple gas stations, so in high school, my dad spent a lot of time running those stations. So I think he had a lot of weight on his shoulders, but because of that, that's really what I think what drove him to be successful.
Jerry was a great innovator in the convenience store space. He was one of the first operators to go down the road of fountain drinks. He was innovative in how he put tire stores with his convenience stores and gasoline stores, almost making like a convenient superstore.
You know, I think one of Jerry's favorite things was to kind of just, we'll call it management by wandering around. He'd go out and visit the stores, and he'd just walk in, and whether they knew him or not, he would start talking to them and strike up a conversation. And he was just a co-worker who was genuinely concerned about people.
And he would just drive around, visit his employees, talk with his employees, and he just loved being in his stores. And I think that's really what Jerry loved doing the most, just being out visiting people, and it showed.
He is a doer. Nothing was beneath him. If he drove by a station and thought it needed more flowers, he would stop and get flowers and plant them, and was always working. We had a family cabin, and every time we'd go there was projects and always something to do.
There was always something to be done or something he could make better in all facets of his life. At home, at work, at church. He always was thinking of a new idea or some way to make something more efficient.
When he was about 40, he bought a boat, and he would literally come to the high school and be waiting for me to get out of high school and pick me up, and we would go to Willard Bay. And I don't know how many hundreds and maybe thousands of times that we would just keep practicing, and he just had a unique way of trying to figure out that water ski. And then for the next 20 years, that was just a passion.
We spent lots of the summer on our boat at Lake Powell or various lakes, water skiing. That was kind of our family thing. One
of the best things I learned from my dad was he used the phrase, try it, right? Everybody'd have different ideas, and instead of, debating forever, he would just say, let's go do it. Let's go try it. So he was really willing to try new things.
He wasn't afraid to do anything. Nothing seemed to scare him. People didn't scare him. He just decided what he wanted to do and then went after it. Kind of just displayed an enthusiasm for things, because then you wanted to help him achieve whatever he was trying to get done.
Jerry was a master people person. He always used the phrase personality plus, and I think what he meant by that was being around people and making them feel like your friend and that you're with them. I'd see him walk into stores and chat up a shift manager or a store manager for 45 minutes, and by the time he left, that store manager felt like they were right in the battle with Jerry, that they were just as important as he was, and that they were all in this thing together.
I think he looked at everybody as an equal. I look back and some of the people that he worked with, that he had such a great love for those people. And they were truly his friends, and he was their biggest cheerleader. It wasn't so much, you will do what I say, as let's figure this out together.
So Jerry was always involved in his community and giving back to his community. He was involved with being one of the original founding fathers of West Valley City. He served as a commissioner here and was just really committed to the idea of when you are blessed in your life that you have a responsibility to give back to those around you.
The biggest way that he gave back was individual relationships with thousands of employees. Jerry was the type of person, when he wanted to help someone in the community who had a health problem or had financial difficulties, he would never do it in a showy way.
A lot of, I think, what Jerry and his wife Floy have done has been behind the scenes, where they just quietly help people, And I think there's a lot more of that that's gone on than anybody will ever know. And he, didn't want any attention brought to those types of, quiet acts of helping people.
I guess you don't realize how much impact a person has on your life till they're gone. He loved life, he loved people, he loved his family. His enthusiasm, I think, is what I miss the most.